All right, so we have our tape measure and we're going to be going over hula hoop sizes today. I know it could be overwhelming. There's a lot of old information out there, so we want to get something new and fresh so you can be current and get some good information when you're looking for hoop sizing. Okay, so these are the two different size tubings. This one is 5/8. This one is 3/4. The 5/8, as you can see, is slimmer, where the 3/4 will be a little bit thicker in diameter, this part. 3/4 is usually what's recommended for beginners because they're more sturdy and then they're also heavier. The heavier the hoop, the easier it is to keep on your waist or on your body when you're doing on-body hooping. Watch, let me show you. So this is a big hoop. You see how slow the rotation is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let me get the smaller hoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see the rotation's much faster on the smaller diameter hoop. So that's why we always recommend a bigger hoop whenever you're learning and just getting started. Just a note, if you are buying a beginner hoop and you're more petite, you have shorter arms, then the big ones will work still for on-body hooping, but whenever you do off-body tricks, if you're more petite, your motions are going to have to be exaggerated, which is not ideal for flow. Let me show you the smaller one. You see how the arm movement looks much more natural, less forced. So smaller hoops are better for off-body, and bigger hoops are better for on-body tricks. So sometimes, depending on your build and your athletic level, sometimes you'll need 2 hoops. We always recommend getting a large diameter so you can learn how to waist hoop. 36 would really be about the smallest you want as a beginner, and a 36 will still be challenging for some people. And then a smaller hoop is recommended for off-body tricks. So when you're learning new off-body tricks, sometimes your big beginner hoop won't be ideal. So it's just something to think about. And if you're on the fence about what size to get, I would recommend between a 32 and a 36. Those are pretty standard. A 32 will be smaller for waist hooping. It will be a little bit more difficult, but it won't be impossible. So you'll just have to, try a little bit harder at it if you have a smaller diameter hoop. Like the big hoop that we were looking at earlier. Let me see what size it is. And then whenever you're measuring a hula hoop, this is how you get the diameter. You're gonna go all the way across, and outer diameter is what we measure our hoops in. So you're gonna go from the outside of the hoop, from one end to the other, to get the diameter size. So when you order a 36-inch hoop, this is how you measure it to make sure that you got the right size hoop whenever it comes in the mail. And that goes for any type of diameter with a circle. So 3/4 is definitely what's recommended for beginners. And watch, let me show you guys. Like these are real small. These are more for like doubles tricks or off body. A lot of people will do this for like an arm workout, but the smaller ones are definitely more for off body because it would be almost impossible, or impossible, yep, impossible almost to waist hoop with such a small hoop. You need some room inside of the hoop. So also, if you're a little bit on the heavier side, you might want to go up a couple inches because the diameter of your waist will affect the circle around. So just something to keep in mind. And this is a great Christmas present for anyone. The cool thing about hula hoops is it's for all ages. I have a nursing home that has a group hula hoop class, and they order hula hoops from me. So I thought that was so cute and so cool. And you can also get it from anyone from 2 years old to 90 years old. A lot of older people look for it because it is a low impact workout. And then you can also customize it. So if you have an injury, like I have a broken rib from snowboarding, and I'll just watch my rib whenever I'm doing hoop moves to make sure that I'm not straining it. So you can personalize it to your own liking. But so, like I said, this is a 36 inch. This is the size I said to get if you don't know what size to get and you're feeling overwhelmed. A 36 inch is a good place to start. Usually we recommend you measuring from your belly button to the floor to get an estimate of what diameter hula hoop that you will need. But if you watch, this is a 36. The rotation is pretty slow. I know I make it look pretty easy, but for a beginner, it will be a little difficult at first, but that's the beauty of it. There's a challenge. Hey everybody, thanks for joining. We're just going over all things hoop sizes. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to try to help you guys. We were just saying that they're the perfect gift for anyone. You get it for your grandma, your niece. And that's kind of the beauty of hula hoops. They bring out like the nostalgic factor for sure. People reminisce. I have a lot of older people, they'll buy a hula hoop to show their granddaughters what they used to do when they were growing up. So that's really the cool part about it. Anytime that I give these out for gifts all the time because I make them, and it's always the highlight of the party. Or like Dirty Santa. This is a good Dirty Santa gift. It just adds some excitement and some fun. Usually when I do bring these for Dirty Santa, it's always a gift that people are fighting over. So it just goes to show that everybody loves a hula hoop. And and then, like I said, as for sizing, a good way to get a roundabout measurement is just to measure from your belly button to the floor. If you're petite, then you can take a few inches off. Or if you're a little bit heavier, then you can add a few inches just to help you in your learning process. And watch, let me show you guys another size. This one this is a 33 inch. So compared to the 36, it doesn't look like a big difference, but it makes a really, really big difference on the rotation. The bigger the hula hoop, the slower the rotation, and the more room you have and more time you have to find your rhythm. And then when you get into like stuff like shoulder hooping, you'll need a bigger hula hoop for your shoulders to have room. But shoulder hooping is definitely one of the harder tricks to learn. So keep your big hula hoop, your first hula hoop, to learn new stuff like shoulder hooping, and just to have a big hoop for your learning curve, and then you can graduate down to a smaller size. And then I also sell, if you're like super confused on sizing, I sell these things. They're called hoop extenders. It'll look something like, this is a sectional hula hoop. But the hoop extenders will look something like this. I'll make it to match whatever hula hoop that you order, whether it's taped or bare. So if you order a 32-inch hula hoop and then you get a 4-inch hoop extender, then you'll have two different sizes. You'll have the 32-inch, and then when you add the hoop extender, it'll go to a 36-inch. So that's a good way if you're questioning what size to get. No hoop is the perfect size for everything. So whatever you get, don't stress about it. If you get something that's a little too small, then it'll be a little bit more challenging. If you get something that's a little too big, then you might have to graduate down sooner. But it's really just a learning curve. Hey guys, so like I said, 3/4 is definitely what's recommended for beginners. Then depending if you want to do on body or off body, everyone is different. I like to stay around like a 28-inch, which, let's see. This is a 32, just for reference. You see, a 32 will be challenging with waist hooping and with shoulder hooping, but not impossible. But you see, like the 30-inch is a little unnatural for the off-body stuff for me, because I am petite and I have short arms. So this one's probably about a 28. $29, we're close. So this is my favorite hoop size personally. Much faster rotation on the body. It can get a little boxy up top. Your shoulders are square, so the hoop's not gonna flow around your shoulders quite as smoothly as it will around your waist, which is more rounded, has like a rounded curve. Your shoulders are more square, so it's like, think about having a box and trying to rotate a hula hoop around it. It'll probably not rotate too good, but if you had it around a pole and you tried to rotate a hula hoop, it would work fine. So that's kind of the example that I have. Isn't this hoop cool? It's rainbow with hearts. And then these hearts are reflective. And then this one, it mimics a sky. And has reflective stars on the side. So this is a good, like I said, gift for anyone. It's a good Dirty Santa gift as well. Or if you know someone who's down and depressed and just needs like a little pick-me-up, this might become their new best friend. Or someone who's lonely, like a grandparent, and they don't get to see a lot of people or have a lot going on. A hula hoop is something that they could do while they're watching TV, while they're watching their news or something like that. So yeah, I'm definitely getting back into my groove with my hula hoop. But I wanted to come on here because I know Christmas shopping is going to be starting soon, and kind of give you guys an idea of what would be good for a gift. And it would be good for a gift really for anyone. So just keep us in mind whenever you're doing your Christmas shopping. And if you have any questions about hoop sizing, you can let me know here, or you can comment later, and I'll respond to your comments once I see them. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else is important for a beginner to know. And you know, you always want to be kind to yourself. Everyone learns at a different pace. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's meant for fun and well-being. So just don't overthink it and stick with it. and you'll find you'll improve slowly down the road. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. And I'm just going to show you guys what you can do with a hula hoop. It's not just about the old school waist hooping. We've advanced far beyond that, and we're still learning. So that's just a little hoop dance to show you guys what's possible with a hula hoop. And you know, you don't have to buy this for a gift. You can buy this for yourself. If you're looking for a way to be active and you're not really a gym person, this is a full body workout. This will get you into shape without even trying. You know, you just kind of you move your whole body. So it's a full body workout in that aspect, and it can be customized to your liking. Most people usually start, I'm gonna kind of just like say the tricks so you guys can know what they're called if you're trying to find it. This will be waist hooping. A waist break is what this is. And then we're gonna go up to shoulder hooping. This is gonna be breaks and paddles. This is the break. The paddle is on the inside. Okay, then you can also hoop around your knees, but in tights it's not ideal because it can slip. But this is knee hooping. This will be an isolation. This will be a vertical iso. This will be horizontal. This is called the sparkle. Hand hooping. is going to be the weave. Next, we're going to do the behind the back pass. Okay. Let's see what else we have. This will be a chest roll. And then you can do it behind the head. This is a back roll. This is called the wedgie. This is an escalator. And there's so many different hoops and so many possibilities. It's still an evolving sport. There's so many new tricks that have been invented since I started. So we kind of learn by era, usually. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions on sizing, definitely let me know. And I'll be more than happy to help y'all out. But like I said, it's a great gift for Dirty Santa, a Christmas party, or anyone in your family, regardless of age. It's something that brings excitement to any event. So that's really cool. Like I said, every time I do gift one, it's always the highlight of the party or wherever we're at. So I've seen so many different people enjoy it regardless of age. And it's something good that you can do just to get moving at home instead of sitting on the couch all the time like we always are. I use it like at night when I'm festering in my mind over the snack that I don't need. I'll just go grab my hula hoop and I'll distract myself, and it works. So there's so many ways that it can help improve your health and just like your mental status. I really do it a lot for the mental as well. So that's my just for the day. If you guys have any questions, like I said, about sizing, we always recommend 3/4 for beginners and a larger diameter just for learning. If you're not sure about what size to get, we do have hoop extenders, which can make the hoop 2 different sizes. We're the only shop that has that available. We invented it, I guess you could say. So, and no one stole the idea, so that's been a blessing. But that's a way, if you're not sure about sizing, to get 2 different sizes without paying for 2 different hoops. Because you will be curious once you get a bigger hoop how the smaller hoop will rotate. And there's no perfect hoop size for all tricks. I'm just going to be totally honest with you guys. Like, when I bring a small hoop with me in public or something, I'm more than likely not going to waist hoop because it just doesn't work well, you know? So you do have to adjust your hooping tricks and style based off of the size hoop you have. And then say you graduate down or you go up a size, then it'll be like a micro adjustment. Like, watch me show you. It's like when you go to do something like this, if the hoop would have been bigger than my first hoop, my hand might have been a little high. So, like that. So it will take a little bit of micro adjusting whenever you do get a new size. Don't freak out or be too hard on yourself. Just take the hoop for all of its glory and go from there. So it's just something to think about. Sizing can be very difficult, and then there's so much old information out there, and especially like with tubing and stuff, like a lot of the older videos show these really heavy and weighted hula hoops, but those really aren't available much anymore unless you find like a specific shop that buys the heavier tubing. But it's really not something that's necessary. The lighter hoops will take a little bit more practice, but that's the beauty of them, is that, like, it's crazy. If you're learning a new trick and you're almost there, it doesn't matter if you're all sweaty and hot or you only plan to do 10 minutes, like your brain's like, no, keep going, you almost got it. So it's really self-motivating in that aspect as well, which is really cool. And then, like I said, there's so many things that you can do. It's really good for your arms naturally. And then a lot of people, like, I'm a dancey hooper, so I like to move my feet. So in that aspect, it's a full body workout. And it doesn't have to be complicated, guys. You don't have to know all of these tricks, but once you start, you're gonna be curious and you're gonna wanna learn what your favorite hooper's doing. So it's really motivating in that factor. And it's definitely one of the only workout I've ever enjoyed in my life. So if you're looking for a new, fresh start on your workout routine, this could be it. This is a two-handed isolation. It's just an illusion where it makes the hoop look like it's staying in the same place. And this will be a one-handed iso. And then over time, after you practice some more, then these tricks that you struggle with to learn will eventually become muscle memory. And I'm gonna show you guys, I can do a lot of hoop tricks with my eyes closed. Let's see. So, like I said, it's just an acquired skill. It takes time, but that's the beauty of it. This is called a shoulder pass. So, like, the opportunities are endless with tricks, and like I said, we're learning new stuff. We usually learn from mistakes, which will make it into like a super complex trick, and like I said, it's definitely an evolving sport. This is going to be a booty pass. Around the body pass. I'm not sure what this trick's called, to be honest. This one's really good at engaging your core, which is lifting that leg up almost like a crunch. Engage your abs. This is called the flower. Or you can just dance with your hula hoop. If you don't know any moves, you can still have fun with your hula hoop. This is called the dribble. So there's always something new and exciting to learn. There's a ton of tutorials out there. So that's why I'm kind of dropping the names of the tricks. If it's something that you're interested in, you can look it up. This is going to be a duck end. Let's see, let me try again. Alright, so you saw I'm spinning on my hand, and I'm ducking in, letting it right around my back again, and then putting my head out. Let's see. The handspin's really easy, so that's a fun trick that you can do as a beginner. This is called a hinge. See, like it's doing the same mechanism as a door hinge would do. You're just gonna loosen your grip. So yeah, that's the gist on hula hoop sizing. So if you have any questions or are interested, you can check out my website. Oh, thank you. Yes, all the hoops are handmade by me. Like this one right here, this one is painted. It's supposed to be like the sky on this side. And then we have some little like reflective star stickers. And this side is a rainbow. The under layer is painted as well. And then we have some little heart stickers, and everything's secured with a clear coat protective layer. And see, this is my baby. I bring this hoop with me everywhere because you can literally put it in a suitcase. This one actually does respond to black light. All of like the neon colors, I'll have them labeled as UV if they are black light responsive. So, for instance, everything besides this red color, these will all be UV reactive. But look how cool. I can literally like fit it in a purse if you want. You can fit it in a big purse. You can bring it in your luggage on vacation. You can put it in a backpack. So these are really cool. I also have not just black light, but I also have glow in the dark tubing. Watch, let me show you all the bear tubing. Give me 1 second. But see, this is the bear tubing. This will be the glow in the dark tubing, and then this one's the UV orange. But these are just bare plastic, as you can see. And then I do the painted hoops. one is really cool. This one's a leopard. These are the leopard spots, or let me turn my light. The leopard spots are made from the deco tape that we have. So we do have taped hoops as well. Most of the beginner hoops are taped because it adds a little bit of weight, which is good for a beginner. But this one is a spray painted first layer. Then I put the dots, the leopard dots, and then I painted around the dots like in a black paint. And like I said, everything's secured with a clear tape protective layer. So let me show you all the tapes. We have a bunch of different tape options, but these are just a few. This is one of my favorites. It's like a magenta confetti. I really don't do events. I should though, because where I live, like crafting is a big thing. So I always thought about doing like a festival or something. I just figured that a hula hoop wouldn't be the best thing to carry around a festival. So that's kind of why I never opted in, but that's definitely a good idea. But this is our purse hoop. So you can put it in a bigger purse, or you can easily fit it in a backpack, because once you do become a hooper, you're going to want to bring your hoop with you everywhere. You're going to see, oh, well, that's a cool backdrop. Like, I would love to do a hoop video in front of that. So it comes with the territory, but instead of walking around with a big hula hoop, then you can walk around with a small one this is called a sectional is what it's called. And then we also have the option, if you don't want a multicolored hoop, you can make any hoop a sectional. So if you wanted like an all yellow or an all pink sectional, you can make it in as many pieces, as small as you want or as large as you want. Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great idea, honestly. I'm gonna definitely look into it. I think they would sell too. I was thinking like to make sectionals, you know, like that would be something easy to put in a bag and to carry around. The sectionals are a lot of work. You have to, we have tubing cutters, but the cut's not always straight, so we have to sit there and straighten out this edge with a little razor blade, and it can be very daunting at times. So that's why the sectionals are more expensive. They take a lot of time to match up these connections perfectly, and then to get the hole in the right spot as well. So if you're looking at the sectionals like, oh my god, why are they so high? That's why. They can take up to hours, sometimes a day. Sometimes you have to just like take a break and walk away from it and then come back to it. So that kind of just comes with the hoop making territory for sure. But yeah, so like I said, and I'm always open to like custom ideas. Like if you see two tapes that you would think would like be a pretty combo, I'm always open. I love like my customers giving me ideas and feedback. So if you ever see something like material wise that I have and you think that like, oh, this would be a cool two-tone sectional, then let me know, because I'm more than happy to do customs. I don't upcharge much on the customs because I look at it as inspiration and an opportunity to make someone's perfect hoop. So I don't really upcharge on the customs unless, you know, it'll take me a whole lot of extra work for some reason. So I try to be kind in that area. I always try to make them as affordable as possible. And then whenever I ship them, watch, let me show you. you see they open up. So to ship them, we'll coil it down. So whenever you receive the hula hoop, it'll look like it's smaller than what you ordered because it's coiled down. And then we like to think outside the box at I Dream of Hoops because we make circles. So we'll just we'll wrap it with bubble wrap all the way around, and it'll almost look like a bike tire whenever it gets to you. But that way the mailman knows not to jar it because he knows that it's a hula hoop and that it's a circle. I've had very good success with these. Probably 10 out of 3,000 have ever gotten damaged, maybe a couple more, you know, over the years. I've kind of lost count, but for the most part, they always make it to their destination safely, which is a huge benefit. People love my packaging. I guess, you know, when it gets to your door, you're like, okay, yeah, that's definitely my hula hoop. But then they say that, and I've opened a few myself that have been like a wrong address or something that is forwarded back to me. But people say that it gives them that joy of like opening up a gift as a kid, because they are kind of hard to get to. They're bound really tight, and just to hear people say that makes me so happy that they get that nostalgic feeling of being a kid and opening up a really cool present. So that comes with it. Yeah, for sure. Scented hoops. Wow. Wow, that's so cool. I wonder how I can make that happen. That's a really good idea. I'm sure there is something. Maybe like we do use like hoop wax sometimes for grip. You can also order it with grip tape. What happens is, like, whenever, depending on the fabric of your clothing, like this shirt is really soft, the hoop wants to tend to slip because it doesn't have enough friction. So a lot of times people will order it with a grip tape on the inside rim of like a plain hoop. And then all the beginner hoops come with grip tape to help you avoid the slippage. But if you're having, like, say if you're learning how to knee hoop or something like that, you want to do it with bare knees. You don't want to have any tights on. Tights especially, the fabric tends to want to slip. So whenever you're trying to knee hoop, just put on some shorts. Or if you're trying to learn how to shoulder hoop, put on a sleeveless shirt. The more skin contact, the better, because your skin's a little bit stickier, and it will prevent the hoop from sliding. So, but we do use hoop wax also for grip. So I'm wondering maybe if you put like essential oils in the hoop wax, that would be a good way to make a scented hoop. I mean, that is awesome. Recently, like, we're always trying to be innovative and creative, but recently I saw a hoop and it had fringes on the outside of it, and when it was spinning, it was beautiful. And I was like, what a simple yet creative idea. Watch, I'm gonna go grab the hoop that I'm most proud about designing. Watch. This is our American flag hoop. So this is a design that I'm really proud of. It's all reflective. What reflective tape is it's what they put on ambulance and police cars, fire trucks, and whenever your headlights shine on it, it looks like it's glowing. Well, this tape is the same as what they put on the police cars and stuff, and whenever you do like a video with a direct flash, like your iPhone flash, the hoop will look like it's LED. It'll look like it's glowing. So that's really cool. But yeah, this is only available at my shop. I was really proud when I made this design because it's such a small ledge. You know, we try to get creative, but it's a very complex design on a simple silhouette. So it came out great. I thought I need to get some more red reflective tape. The reflective tape's like super, super expensive. And then this one, it's a 2-inch, so I can do the stripes without having to put like 2 pieces, make it a little bit easier. This is a labor of love. I also have to punch out all of the stars. So after I finish one of these hoops, I'm usually pretty exhausted, but the product is so worth it. But yeah, so if you guys ever have any ideas, let me know. You know, that's how we make cool stuff, is from collaborating and throwing around ideas. Like the scented hoop, like I would have never ever thought about that. So I got it in my little brain now. I got my wheels turning. So it's something that you might see in the future if I can make it happen, because I think that's really, really cool. Any other cool ideas for like hoop sizes or designs? Like, and the tapes are crazy. There's so many different color combos you can do. And my mom, she makes wreaths, and her like ribbon combos are always so cool. So like the possibilities are really endless with the different types of tape. Let's see. Like this one is a combination of tape and paint. I hand painted each of these little dots. It's called A Million Acts of Kindness. And then we have, this is reflective tape, and the blue, you see how the blue's on the inside of the rim? That's where we usually put the grip tape that we were talking about as well. And this will prevent the hoop from sliding. So if you decide to go with a non-traditional beginner hoop and just get like a bare tubing hoop, then get the grip tape just to add a little bit of weight and to prevent the hoop from sliding off of your body. But yeah, this one's really fun. And then like we have a little heart, a cutout heart right here. But I try to get creative. I definitely, I have a very busy mind, and my style is just pretty busy as well. So I like to just add a lot of stuff and make like real fun and complex designs. That's just like how my brain works, you know? Yeah, A Million Acts of Kindness, it's a good way to, you know, put the good energy out there. I figured, you know, like the little dots were tedious and kind of driving me crazy, and I was like, this is just a million acts of kindness instead. You know, we always want to be optimistic and positive, but if you ever have questions, always feel free to message me on here, or you can always message me, send me an email at idreamofhoops@gmail.com if you have any questions about sizing or anything custom that you might be interested in, or ideas. Oh, noise hoops. I like that too. Oh man, so many cool ideas. Thank you. A lot of times, you know how the old hula hoops would have like some little beads in it or something that would make noise? Sometimes I'll get a request for that, and what I'll do is I'll send them just like a little bag of BBs. It's just little pieces of metal, like little round pieces of metal, and I'll let them put them into their hoops for the sound. So people definitely request the sound, you know, like the ch 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 ch. Huh, a whistle too. That's a good idea. I've made a jump rope. I cut the tubing, any like extra tubing I had. I always try to use like my extra supplies as best I can, but I cut them into little small pieces. And you know those jump ropes with the small little plastic pieces? I have made that before. It was a little too heavy, heavier than I would have liked. If you wouldn't make the jump, it would beat your ankles to death. So it didn't make the cut for being listed in my shop, but it's something that I definitely experimented with. Definitely. And hooping will make you self-aware. You know, you'll become much more in tune with your body and your emotions, and it can also just help you become your best self. And like I said, really more mentally, you wouldn't imagine the mental relief of doing a task that's so complicated that your brain can't think about all of the stress or the things that keep your mind busy all day in a bad way. Whenever you start to hula hoop and you get into your flow state, everything else disappears. It's just like you and your hula hoop. And it's so relieving in this day and age to be able to get a mental break from just the stress of life and stuff. So I've definitely sticked with hooping for the mental aspect, and then it's always helped me maintain my weight throughout the years. I've always struggled with my weight. It goes up and down and up and down, but I always have this is my gym. I haven't been to a gym in over a decade. But I can always like whip myself into shape if I have an event coming up, or if summertime's crawling around, if just for multiple reasons. All you have to do is in the morning or the afternoon, just grab your hula hoop and have yourself a little hoop session. It doesn't have to be extreme. It doesn't have to be anything overthought or planned. Just grab it and just go, And that's the beauty of it. Like, save your waiting for your water to boil to make spaghetti. Instead of just sitting around twiddling your thumbs or doom scrolling, it's like, go grab your hoop. You're going to be getting some mental relief. You're going to be getting some physical relief. I hoop when I'm happy. I hoop when I'm sad. If I'm having like a really, really tough time, I'll just go and hoop, and it'll get my mind off of it, and it'll just release some endorphins or something. Something happens. But it is very, very stress relieving as well. Yeah, absolutely. The me time, for sure. And so many people do it, like, new moms will do it. If you have a baby and you can't make it to the gym and you're trying to get yourself back in shape, your baby gets it there and watch you in amazement. And a lot of times it'll be generational. I have one of my sponsored hoopers. Her mom was a hooper way back when. So it is something that you can pass on to your kids, and something that they would think is cool that their mom does, But there's so many positive aspects hooping. I know it sounds silly, but it has absolutely changed my life for the better. And it's just made me a little bit more well-rounded and complete as a person. So I love it, and really that's why I sell hula hoops, to spread the hoop love. I have so many people that'll leave me these awesome reviews. I really appreciate every kind review that I get, and I take it to heart. Like, people are like, people will say stuff like, hooping has changed my mental status, or I never thought that I could get such relief from a hula hoop. Like, it's just amazing to see people have such positive effects from the product that I'm shipping out. That's the point. Well-rounded, I like that. We always say happy hooping over here. That's our exit out of emails. Like, happy hooping, everyone loves that too. We just try to, add joy and excitement and fun. This is my side job. I do treat it like it would be my one and only, though, because this is the job that I love to do. People always say, like, oh, you got to do what you love. You got to do what you love. It's like, okay, well, I believe them now, because I would rather do my hoop work all day than my regular job any day. So always, just keep your heart and your mind open to the possibilities. I never thought I would have done this as an adult. I was a pretty good hula hooper as a kid. But never limit yourself with your mind. So many people are scared just to try something new. But, I mean, what can you do? Fail? If you don't try, you can consider that a loss anyway, So always keep your mind and your heart open to new opportunities, and you never know. It could change your life. You don't know unless you try. And That's why I always encourage people just to get one and see if you like it. Most people will stick to it, non-athletes as well, just for, like I said, the mental relief that it gives a lot of people. So just keep us in mind when you're shopping for Christmas this year. And if you need a dirty Santa gift, like, I'm telling you, this is the gift. Like, every dirty Santa party, everyone's fighting over the hula hoop. And then after, everyone's hooping with the hula hoop. So think about that whenever you're shopping. And next week, if you go check out my Etsy shop, we're going to be having a sale. So if you're looking for a good deal, next week will be the time. Check us out. Y'all have a good day, okay? Yes, and thank you so much for all of the ideas. I'm definitely going to keep the Senate hoop in mind. And then, like, the noisemakers, you know, it's really about, like you said, getting the sensation from other areas whenever you're hooping. So I really appreciate all of the advice. I really do. Thank you so much, and I hope I see you guys next time.